Hi, John Alford with Five Rings Financial. I want to talk with you about something that we call a $1 million baby plan, and especially if you're a service member with a baby on the way or a young child or children. This is an amazing plan that you can use while you're paying very low income tax rates and have good salary and benefits. And I want to mention some young couple that I know from our office in San Diego. Her name is Hannah, and her husband's name is Tristan. He's a Marine. He's about to get promoted to sergeant, and their first baby is on the way. I want to talk to you about what they could do in a $1 million baby plan to potentially set not only that child, but future generations up for multi-generational wealth. So let's talk about preparing for our children's education. One of the things you may have heard about if you have children, you save for college through what's called a 529 plan. The 529 plan has some benefits. For instance, the money that you put in a 529 plan grows tax deferred. And if you take the money out for an approved education expense, it comes out tax free. The problem is that money is in IRS jail, and if you don't use it for educational expenses, it comes out with penalties in most cases and taxed as well. So you could set up an account called a $1 million baby. Once a child is born, you can start these on them even before they're a year old, or you can start them on children and really reap the benefits throughout their life. But if you set those up, the money goes in after tax. Again, I mentioned in the military, we normally don't have very high tax rates because a lot of our income is allowances and not pay. So while you're paying those low income taxes, put money to work for you and your family in a tax favored way. So you pay taxes on it now. When you know your tax rate, it begins growing tax deferred. In a $1 million baby plan, unlike a 529, the money can come out at any time for any reason. It doesn't have to be used for educational expenses. But let's use the example of Hannah and Tristan or another family that starts a $1 million baby plan on their child before they're a year old. And let's say they start a $5 a day plan. Yes, that works out to $150 a month or $1,800 a year. Well, as you can see from the table, we're going to forecast that the family puts that money in, $5 a day, for 18 years. When that child reaches 18, they have access to up to $45,000 that they can take out for any use. If they want to use it for college expenses, they can do that, like a 529, but they don't have to. What if their child is using their military education benefits, like CalVets, available to us in California? Other states have similar program. They can take that money, and instead of having their child stay in an apartment or a dorm, they could potentially buy a townhome or a duplex, something like that, and become the dorm themselves and have other roommates help pay those mortgage off and pay that loan back. They could leave the money in there growing. They could take that money out for a year abroad while they find themselves. They could use it, say that the child doesn't want to go to college, they want to start a business. They could take some of that money out to start a business. The decision is theirs because it's their plan and it's not in a 529. So that is the great use of it as an alternative to a college savings plan. But what if you don't use it for that and you let it continue to grow? Well, what this can become, once that child gets to a certain age, the parents can let them take it over and they have a 18 or 22 or 25 year head start on retirement savings. And that money has been compounding since they started the account on this infant. So let's say that the child continues to only put in $5 a day, never bumping it up. Even as they work jobs and have pay raises, maybe they do other savings and investments. But that $5 a day, by the time they turn 70, grows to a large enough pool of money that they could turn on income for life. They would never outlive this income until they're 100 or 120. They could receive $173,000, slightly more, every single year from an account that their parents started at $5 a day and they never added more than that into it. This is the power of a $1 million baby. Let's take it out a little bit further and show you how this works out. The chassis of $1 million baby plan is a life insurance policy. I use Index Universal Life. There are other permanent life insurance policies that could work for these. I like Index Universal Life as the chassis. Let's say this baby used some of the money for college, put the money back in, started getting the income for life, dies at the ripe old age of 90. Maybe longer, maybe not, but let's just say 90. The policy and plan that Hannah and Tristan started on their baby 90 years before turns into a multi-generational legacy of just over $1.1 million after providing 20 years of income to their daughter, and then they leave their great-grandchildren or whoever that daughter then has as a beneficiary multi-generational wealth, started with $5 a day. That's how $1 million baby program works. They're awesome because you get that power of compound interest working for your children at an early age, and you have the freedom that you don't have with a 529 plan. If you'd like some more information, you can reach out to me either by message or in the comments. I'd love to sit down with you, share how this would work in your specific situation. Thanks, and have a great day.